Hello, all, greetings. This is Gilles Monsignor. I wanted to come and wish you a wonderful solstice, whether you're in the southern hemisphere, where it's a very deep, powerful winter energy point, or it is in like here in the northern hemisphere. We are in the summer solstice, which is the blossoming of nature and the longest day of the year. And it's a time for I hope you do enjoy those new energies of spirit that is been unfolding within each and every one of us. The more we become aware and conscious and grateful for those experiences, the more we are able to let go of the resistance from feeling, those new energies that make us feel good. The easier the past gets, and the less impatient we are as well, the quicker things will go. In a general sense. So I'm gonna look from the tarot to see if we can get some information about the ins and outs of things that are happening right now. For we are at the end of a cycle, and for the cycle never ends really, but it goes from one completion to another completion, and what we want to do is to be able to move on an upward spiral. For if your energy goes down, it is a sign that you have to change the channel to move into an ascending. You cannot be descending or ascending of the spiral. The spiral will always go on either way, but sometimes it can stabilize itself. But essentially, we wanna be able to ascend our consciousness. For it is not an easy thing to change our physical habits, our physical life, or to change our mental, emotional process, our relationship to all kinds of old judgments and situations that tense out all kinds of things within our mind, or even to change dimension, to move from the third and fourth dimension, the realm of physical and emotional realm, to the world of crystalline light, of total unity. For unity consciousness, in essence, we want to be connected to our soul, our spirit, to our soul group, our spirit group, our soul family, our spirit guides, and our source. Those are the main connection we want to. Before I can connect to that tarot deck, I do need to connect to the connection is to ourself. First is to be able to gather all those little parts of ourselves, or we are not aware of all those many parts of ourselves, but we want to come to peace with whatever's going on here and now, so we can begin to receive all kinds of new energies, new information. For light is self-revealing. Once we make a void within ourselves, then we can learn something, discover something about ourselves that is revealed. For life is always revealed. Ascension has to go through revelation, self-revelation, and we have to learn to tune in to that inner frequency of soul and spirit. And in essence, to do that, we need to find playfulness. It's total enjoyment, total playfulness. The north node of the moon has moved into Leos for the next 2 years. It's going to be the last 2 years has been about taking care of ourselves, being good to our health, and now it's about enjoying life. So the great lessons will be on how to experience, to enjoy life as much as possible. For what is opposing that is the sense of totality. It means, in many senses, it talks about total focus, but we do not achieve that all the time. So total focus, our will is sometimes distracted, and therefore we can lose the attention, the connection that can make things happen. So we have to work on that, to keep a focal point, to learn and to move out of duality, because here we have the world of duality. So the essence is to know that those dual force will always be there, existing, but it's to find the inner point of balance between both sides of the pendulum, so that we move into unity consciousness, and we can raise ourselves beyond the realm of mental, emotional conditioning, and so we are able to lift ourselves up to this new level of consciousness. Now it's before us, with below our feet, is the past life. So it is about recovering, retrieving, finding out all those many past lives we had. Those are information. It may not be all clear until we get access to the Akash, but So even if it's fragmented, you receive information through dreams and insight and intuition, and so follow that, know that, trust that. No matter what it is, if it comes to you, there is a reason for it to come to you. However, it's good to be able to let go. You have the power to let go of anything at any time, but you have the power to recall anything at any time. You do not be so we won't be subject to the fluctuation of time and space, but we will be able to command it, to call it, to organize it in a way that is most suited to the higher vision, higher self function in this world, in order to create more peace and joy and abundance in the world. For all, everything is here to give. Nature is abundant, and we could all live in abundance. It's just a matter of consciousness and beliefs and desires as well. For once we begin to integrate those energies of past life and eternal multidimensional self, things becomes a lot more intense. There is a great deal of intensity. So the thing about intensity, it is very good. It is very powerful. It is enjoyable. But it can also, it's just we have to learn to discharge it if something doesn't go exactly how we want to, so we don't get intense in a negative way. But so we will learn to control those energies, the vibration, frequency, how we deal with things. It's going to become easier, although there are still things to work on in the deep. In the subconscious, the things that can come up that are below, there is a comparison. So it's the ability to compare. The bamboo is hollow, the hawk is full, but there is, everything is one. It's just everything has its function. So once you are shown different things, and then you are able to compare, and it's important to learn to discern what is good for you and good for everybody else. Your own good has to come first. That's the biggest piece. The self-love is the biggest piece we need to acquire in ascension. But from there, it's this inner, our sense of well-being has to be able to extend to the community, the world, the universe, and beyond. Well, whichever way it works. We are not limited in many essence through our intention. We are creator spirits, and therefore we are able to affect the world in many ways. It doesn't have to be visible to others, but it's subtle, and so we move with those energies one step at a time, one breath at a time, and we see where we are being led. Right now, where we are at the present time is traveling. We are able to travel what's within our mind and physically as well. It is all open. The world is in the past, when we needed to travel, it would travel around the world. It would take years. Now it's like just jumping in a plane, and maybe later we'll be able to teleport ourselves, which will be even easier. It's just a matter of knowing that can be done, and have enough certainty about it so that you can actually manifest that. Those are things I'm working on, but I still have things to work on in order to be able to get completely fluid within my being. What's coming up in the near future is the mind, and the mind here is asking you to follow your intuition and let go of your mind, go into your heart. The mind is just the mind is wonderful. I love thinking, and I love philosophy, and I love all kinds of sciences and approaches and arts and so on. But in essence, whenever there is entrapment, there is a need to let go, and so to let go, to trust God, trust the universe. For the whole universe, the whole of life is within the hands of God, and God is all powerful, He's almighty, He's all benevolent, and so you have to have the knowing that everything will be okay. It's no need to worry about anything. Just trust and do whatever you are called to do, guided to do. And from there you find participation. It means a lot more implication from the invisible world, from spirit group, from spirit guides. It is for people that are putting their hands on the center and make the spiral activating. So that also means that there is a need for your participation. You cannot just be waiting for spirit to do the work for you, but spirit will assist you in every way they can in order to make things happen. What you are in this situation, what we have in terms of the forces within ourselves, it represents the consultant, is the courage. It's this little, it's the idea that no matter what the obstacle may be, we got to find the courage within ourselves. We have the courage within ourselves to overcome any obstacle. There is not such a thing, and if we do not know, we have a divine source within us that does have that that will, that knowledge, that wisdom, that courage, that strength, that understanding. That so it is a matter of allowing ourselves to be more courageous and in perfecting our own character. For courage is or to overcome whatever fear or whatever. There is always much to gain in overcoming fear. For our environment, what surrounds us in terms of the environment is aloneness. So aloneness is someone who's really shining his light into the darkness. That will gain a satisfaction through spiritual understanding, and that comes from the outside. So that could be a guide, that could be a reflection, and but to understand that we're all one, we're alone because we're all one. So there is no all. It's an illusion that we have created of separation. So the inner process is different, and then there is a sameness in relationship to the whole. That Plato quite discussed that in philosophy. Those themes have been aborted, and so it is about reconnecting to that one. And so once we reconnect to that one, we find a deeper connection to our whole environment. Within our inner emotion, our hopes and fear, we have this warrior. For the warrior spirits was very, very potent for thousands and thousands of years, because the cities had to defend themselves against all kinds of other invasion. And so we have learned, we still have that within ourselves, this idea of fighting, but we have to let go of the fight. Eventually we have to allow peace to establish itself, to let go of all those things that we are learned to fighting against. And once we move into acceptance, inclusion, and trust in the higher light, then we find the breakthrough. We break through emotionally into something else. So it's a breakthrough can happen in one moment. Everything can change from one moment to the next. So it is a very, very powerful time. And the outcome of all that is letting go. It's this little drop of water that's been traveling through the leaf, and she's like holding on to the leaf because she's not sure where she's going, but she's going to go into a fall. And so she, but as soon as she let go, she goes into the fall, and she falls into the lake. And a drop of water may be very little, but once it's united with a lake, it will never dry. For it is an old Eastern proverb. Eastern saying. So in essence, we have to trust that we can let go of those things, and new things will always come to replace them. So by letting go, we are being confronted with this to know how sincere are we in relationship to what we are letting go or holding on to. It is the card of politics. For Osho believed that politicians and priests were always were the image of hypocrisy, for they are presenting you something that they are not inside. And so in a sense, it is a primal nature of human beings. We all have that, more or less, but we have to work to always find the sincerity within ourselves, and also see what's behind the mask. What people wear, they're wearing masks, to see their intention, to see where they're at. It's not a matter of judgment, but it's just about clarity, to know exactly, to know as much as possible from inside what's going on inside the situation, rather than accepting the facade, the appearance of things. And once we may even let go of those ideas of self-judgment or judgment of others, we find receptivity. We become one. We are unified. We're unified within the one, and the lotus can blossom. Things can be received. Life can bloom. There is so much there's so much to be given in life. There is, although sometimes the doors are not open, but it is a matter of aligning ourselves in relationship to what we have been asking, and finding a way so that we can allow the universe to bring it to us in a graceful and easy way. Well, I hope this reading was interesting for you. I thank you very much for your likes, your comments, your sharing, your subscribing if you like this video and want to see the next ones. I think I finished this painting here. It's a self-portrait, my natal astrology, where there is 120 planets that I could identify here in my astrological chart. And what's interesting about this painting is that the Earth is all surrounded by this chain, and all the constellations, and they are DNA chain, and it is the sense of self that, in essence, we are, as a spirit beings, we are restricted within the physical form, and that's what we need to liberate our DNA, so that the physical form merge into a more spiritual form, and through our consciousness and actions and intentions. Well, I hope this was interesting, and I wish you a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. Namaste.